Hey everyone, today we're going to dive deep into the very heart of our planet, the oceans. They do a lot for us. They feed us, they keep our climate in check, and they literally produce the air that we breathe. But this whole system, it's under an incredible amount of pressure. So we're going to explore a really powerful new idea for how we can work with the sea, the blue economy. All right, to get us started, a quick question for you. True or false? The ocean produces more oxygen than all the world's rainforests put together. What do you think? And the answer is true. Yeah, seriously, it's not the Amazon, it's the ocean. These tiny little organisms called phytoplankton, they are the real lungs of our planet, cranking out up to 70% of our oxygen. I mean, that one fact alone makes it totally clear. Protecting our oceans is really about protecting ourselves.
So let's just take a second to wrap our heads around the incredible scale we're talking about when we say the ocean.
This really puts it all into perspective, doesn't it? We really do live on a blue planet. The oceans cover 71% of the surface. Think about that for a second. The Pacific Ocean by itself is bigger than all the continents combined. So yeah, the ocean isn't just on our world. In a lot of ways, it is our world.
But here's the thing. This massive, life-giving system is facing a crisis like never before. Let's dig into the challenges it's up against.
Just look at this number, 8 million tons. What do you think that is? Well, that's how much plastic we are dumping into our oceans every single year.
Now, I know 8 million tons is a hard number to picture. So how about this? Imagine a garbage truck full of plastic, backing up to the shore and dumping its entire load into the water. Now, imagine that happening every single minute of every single day. That's what we're doing.
And all that plastic has to go somewhere. It just accumulates. You've all heard of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, right? Well, it's now twice the size of Texas. Let that sink in. It's basically a floating monument to our throwaway culture. And a huge chunk of it isn't even bottles and bags, it's old, discarded fishing gear.
But the threats aren't all visible like plastic. The actual chemistry of the ocean is changing. See, the ocean has done us a huge favor by absorbing about a third of our CO2 emissions, but that's made it 30% more acidic. For animals like corals and shellfish, that's like trying to build a house out of bricks that are just crumbling in your hands. They're struggling to even form their skeletons.
And it's not just CO2. The ocean has also been our planet's heat shield, a staggering 90%. That's how much of the excess heat from climate change the ocean has just soaked up. It has saved us on land from the worst effects, but that has come at a massive price for all the life in the sea.
So all this pressure creates this cascade of problems. We're fishing so much we're pulling fish out faster than they can reproduce. Our fishing methods catch everything, which means 40% of the global catch is bycatch, dolphins, sea turtles, things we didn't mean to catch. Then you have ghost nets, lost fishing gear that just drifts for years, trapping and killing animals. And all that absorbed heat, it's causing coral bleaching on a massive scale. If we hit just 1.5 degrees of warming, we could lose 90% of our world's coral reefs, just gone. Okay, I know, that was a lot of really heavy stuff. But this is the point where the story pivots. Because right now, there's a huge global shift happening, away from just staring at the problem and towards a really powerful solution. And that solution is called the blue economy. It's not about just stopping everything and putting a fence around the ocean. It's about completely changing our relationship with it. It's a new way of thinking where economic growth and a healthy ocean aren't fighting each other. They're actually part of the exact same goal. This really breaks down the shift in thinking. The old way was all about extraction. Just take what you can as fast as you can for short-term profit and destroy the resource in the process. The blue economy just flips that completely. It's about working with the ocean. It means focusing on things that are renewable, actively helping to regenerate ecosystems, and creating value that's actually going to last. And here's the best part. This is not just a theory. There are incredible innovations happening right now that are making this blue future a reality. Let's look at some of them.
Okay, first up, blue carbon. We all think of rainforests as the lungs of the planet, right? Well, it turns out that coastal ecosystems like mangroves and seagrasses are absolute carbon-capturing superstars. I mean, look at this. They can store up to 5 times more carbon than a tropical rainforest. That's wild. So protecting and restoring these places is one of the most powerful climate solutions we have.
The ocean is also this huge, untapped source of clean energy. We can harness the power from waves, from tides, from those massive underwater currents. There's even this amazing tech called OTech that uses the temperature difference between warm surface water and cold deep water to generate power. I mean, this is a massive opportunity to move away from fossil fuels.
And the ocean's potential is also biological. Scientists are finding brand new medicines for diseases like cancer, all from organisms in the ocean. And get this, we are just scratching the surface. Scientists think something like 90% of the species in the ocean are still completely undiscovered. Just imagine the breakthroughs that are waiting for us down in the deep.
And what's really cool is that there's this growing global momentum. The UN kicked off a whole decade of ocean science back in 2021 to get people working together. Then in 2023, countries signed the historic High Seas Treaty to protect international waters. And it's all building towards this huge goal: protect 30% of those waters by 2030. You can feel it. The tide is really starting to turn. So all of this might feel huge and global, but the real power of the blue economy is that it connects all the way down to the choices each of us makes every day. So what can you actually do? It really comes down to a few powerful, simple choices. When you buy seafood, look for a sustainability label like the MSC's. Ditch the single-use plastic bottle, that thing takes 450 years to break down, for a reusable one. If you're going on vacation, switch to a reef-safe sunscreen. And you can support amazing organizations that are out there right now pulling those deadly ghost nets out of the ocean. Every one of those actions adds up. It really does.
So we'll end with this thought. For generations, the ocean has basically been our silent protector. It's absorbed 90% of our excess heat and a third of our carbon pollution. It has done so much for us. So the real question now is, what are we going to do for it?